Most of us didn't even study. We sold our integrity to something called as exam dumps, despite of having all those proctored exams. People use them, companies know people use these dumps, yet the charade continues. We actually don't need a conclusion, we need a revolution. It creates a pool of certified individuals who are functionally incompetent, leading to project failures, wasted resources, and a general erosion of trust in the hiring process. The perennial question haunting every tech professional: certifications or hands on projects. This isn't just an ancient debate, it's a crisis of value in the IT industry. Are we prioritizing credentials simply to satisfy an HR algorithm, or are we truly fostering genuine skill? I am not here to provoke, I am here to compel you to look past the corporate mandates and reflect deeply upon a single metric that actually defines a world class professional. Let's be blunt here for a second. A certificate proves we passed an exam, it does not prove we can build, troubleshoot, innovate, or lead. Companies, especially in the IT sector, have become addicted to this metric. They'll demand a specific certificate or a badge, regardless of whether a candidate possesses years of hands of experience and a deep understanding of the fundamental concepts. And the painful truth is that when the clients push for badges, recruiters demand them. Having left with no choice, we have to mindlessly work on it. Now, we can memorize every API call, every command line syntax, every theoretical concept from a 500-page study guide. But if you have never had to implement that in a real world project, debug a system under pressure, or architect a solution from the ground up, that knowledge is inert. It's like having a driver's license but never actually have driven a car. But let me tell you an inconvenient truth. Projects are the crucible of true IT expertise. It doesn't matter if you are working at a Fortune 500 company or a nimble startup, or even on your own passion project for that matter. The actual act of building, breaking, and fixing is where we actually forge our knowledge. Like I said before, knowing how to drive a car is one thing, but to drive it on an actual road full of traffic and unforeseen variable and circumstances will give you the actual experience and will make you aware about the real areas of improvement you actually need to focus upon. Getting our hands dirty with real world problems, understanding the constraints, the dependencies, the unforeseen bugs, this is what transforms theoretical knowledge into invaluable skill. You might learn a new tool in a day on a project that would take weeks of studying for a certification. You will understand why something works, not just that it works. But the ground reality is even more inconvenient and hard to digest. And that is, not everyone gets good projects to work on, and not everyone is exposed to experiences that will enhance an individual's further knowledge. Half of the industry is still in a dilemma, being 5 years into their careers, that what did we miss? What did I do wrong? This isn't an excuse, it is a systematic fact. Getting placed on a valuable knowledge boosting project is often a matter of organizational need, your timing, or in most cases, just sheer luck. You might find engineers doing a high value architecture at a mediocre company, while others in a prestigious organization are stuck writing only basic select star from queries. The hard truth is, luck dictates exposure. And since theory and personal labs alone can only take you so far, we need a better way to validate skills that isn't dependent on organizational project allocation. You have to just ask yourself one question: am I building my foundation, or am I just running a certification rat race? Let's not be fooled. The engineers who gain badges after years of experience, the ones with the true knowledge, didn't gain that mastery from the exam prep. They gained it because they applied the concepts, broke the systems, and had genuine hands on accountability even before certifications were even a thing. The certification was a side effect, not the cause of their expertise. The IT infrastructure still existed before certifications, where people were given a problem to solve rather than an aptitude test. Knowledge without application quickly becomes stale. The IT world moves at a warp speed. What you learned for that exam 6 months ago might just be outdated in practice. Speaking of learning, tell me one thing honestly. Did we really learn? Did we really study while preparing for the exam? Why did we take these certifications? If I had to take a survey, the answer would be the devil made me do it. To address the elephant in the exam room, most of us didn't even study. We sold our integrity to something called as exam dumps, to which surprisingly people are paying an absurd amount for, and even making a business out of it. This is very serious and important to understand and literally ask ourselves, how did it come to this? The answer to which you already know but refuse to acknowledge. The devil made me do it. The devil being a system that demands a badge to even look at your resume. RIP to the times where we used to create a portfolio of projects showcasing our real talents and the questions were being asked around the same. As of today, it is filled with certifications. Now, don't you see how it defeats the whole purpose and completely undermines the integrity of many certifications, despite of having all those proctored exams? People use them, companies know people use these terms, yet the charade continues. A candidate can cram a dump, pass an exam with a high score, and present a certificate that suggests expertise that they simply do not possess. It creates a pool of certified individuals who are functionally incompetent, leading to project failures, wasted resources, and a general erosion of trust in the hiring process. The question the corporate needs to ask itself is, are we truly building a skilled workforce or just a workforce adept at passing the tests? And to top it all off, instructors nowadays are creating courses with the sole intention of preparing people for exams rather than making them understand the core of things. Another subtle example of how our desperation to stay updated with the trending is being monetized. If we only focus on content that is exam centric, we are constricting our own growth and creating a demand for something that is really not valuable. So, where do we go from here? We actually don't need a conclusion, we need a revolution. The message is quite obvious. This isn't to say that all the certifications are useless. Some, particularly in those tied to complex hands on labs or the practical skill assessments, still hold significant value. They can validate a baseline, they can open the initial doors. But the paradigm needs to shift. The questions asked to professionals should be like, what have you built? What problems have you solved? Or how have you contributed to a team? Can you explain why something works and not just what it does? Can you think critically and adapt to new challenges? Something that showcases hands on experiences, fundamental understanding, and problem solving abilities, or a completely different mechanism to identify a person's skills. Now, when the questions coming from recruiters and the interviewers will change, only then the approach and the outlook towards this issue might change. For individuals, the message is quite clear. Do not chase certificates exclusively, chase projects, create something, break something, and fix something. That's where our real education, our real value, and our real career growth will come from. Certifications can never ever be a substitute for the grit, the learning, and the mastery that comes from genuine hands on experience. It's time to kill the narrative and it's time to build.